Hello and welcome to part 8 of my modded Minecraft video log series. For those who aren't aware, this is a series where I basically discuss whatever world or mod pack I'm playing at a given time and sort of discuss my progress, anything I want to show off. So we're currently sitting at around, I believe, around 10 hours in Monifactory. For those unfamiliar, this is the 1.21 port of Nomifactory. I'm currently midway through the LV chapter. Currently, this is all the progress I've made. Let me quickly, before I go any further though, establish the ground rules that I had established for myself when I created this world. Because I went through some steps that some people would consider a little bit on the cheaty side. So basically, my agreement for myself is I would allow myself a creative energy cube, or a creative energy cell, one ME drive, one Fluix cable, and one ME crafting terminal. The reason I did this is because the part that I struggle the most with, the part that gets the most frustrating to me about early game GregTech mod packs, especially my experience playing Nomifactory, was that initial process of having to go between chests to grab everything out, to microcraft, all that garbage. I will still follow the microcrafting process. It's just having everything in one location makes it so that it's easier for me to progress without in any way affecting the progression, I would say. My rules were only these items. I'm not allowed to use it for any form of automation. No storage buses, no ME interfaces, export, import buses, pattern providers, none of that. I'm not allowed to use it to enable any sort of automation. It's basically just to keep all my items in one place to make crafting easier. But for example, if I want to like bulk smelt or bulk craft, then I have to move the items manually into the system. Or if I'm like running something through one of these, I bulk crafting tin wire, for example, I manually walk over and put it back in my system. It's not automatically going back in. Those are the rules I set in place. Sorry, a little bit of burp. I just want to get that out of the way first. So just set up a core understanding of what my rules are for myself while playing this. I think it's a fairly reasonable cheat to do, just for the sake of allowing me to actually get to the part of the pack that I want to play, which is the heavy focus on automation and factories and whatnot. So that's the reason why I have that particular rule in place. So let's start off with where how this pack started. I believe I spawned in that building over there, or maybe that one over there. I made my way over to here. This was my starting location, and the first port of call was getting iron to make iron furnaces, which I got from a magnetite vein down there. No, not down there. Magnetite to make iron, and immediately bum rushed iron furnaces. That allowed me to have basic automation off the bat, pull items in from the top, export them out at the bottom. And then I got a whole bunch of wood to make barrels to go on top. And then my next port of call after that was coal to fuel the furnaces, and then working through the progression tree. So step one was like going through all the quests by default already, getting some wrought iron, and doing some studying up on EMI. EMI is super useful. We'll get to that in a second. Then I did the starter tools. And then once I had the starter tools in place, it was working through these two quests right here to try and get some bulk resources going. So I believe I got them in the order of, so my priorities were iron, and then coal, and then the diamond vein, which is over here somewhere. Actually, I don't know where my diamond vein is. That's Galena. That is, I believe, what is that one? I'm not sure what that one is. Tin, cassiterite, cobaltite. Basically, it was diamonds. That way I could repair my hammer easily. I used anvils that I got from these buildings. I also looted a bunch of these buildings beforehand. So yeah, I got diamonds, I got obsidian, and I got lapis. That allowed me, with the automatic smelting that I had already going for the copper, iron, well, it was copper, iron, so like gold, coal, copper, iron, and redstone, all that smelting while I was getting the diamonds and the lapis and the obsidian, gave me enough levels to enchant my mining hammer. So it's currently Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, Fortune 3. I got very lucky with that one. My second one was, I don't know, I think I enchanted this one first. I think. Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, and Efficiency 5, but I wanted one with Fortune. So I used the levels from the furnaces just by breaking them to get enough levels to enchant the hammer, so that way I can be a bit more efficient. These are the two that I was using before I got this enchanted one. They're going to be used in the future. Just when I get to the point where it's too expensive to repair this one, I can merge this one with one of those ones and keep using it. So that's the eventual goal. Once I've done that, the next port of call, I believe, was going through getting some sticky resin. I went through the plant ball route, so getting leaves and saplings to make plant balls that I could then smelt into slime balls, which I can then smelt into sticky resin. Then the next thing I did was like work my way through here, getting items as needed, but also just like ticking off checkboxes, reading everything, making sure I had a core understanding of what it was that I was doing. Got a backpack as well. I haven't got a tool belt yet. I need to, but I haven't got around to it. Mining hammers, we already got a lumber axe. Anvil we got from one of the buildings over there. I haven't got any item pipes yet. I've been using the item conduits from Ender.io. I got the ULV. So initially I got the LV16A energy converter, and I made it and I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. So I made it 8A, and I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. And then I realized that I was being stupid, and I thought it was the red that was the output, and it was the green that was the input, and I had it the wrong way around. I also finally figured out how GregTech wires actually work, because I didn't understand before now how these things actually worked. So from what I can understand is the voltage of a given wire is how the EU per tick, and also the voltage tier of the wire. Can I just like search by EU per tick? Let's go wire cable. Yeah, so from what I've been able to understand, so let's go like the copper cable that can handle a maximum voltage of 128. Oh wait, I wasn't using copper, I was using tin. Let's find the tin ones. Silver, tin. So a maximum voltage of 32, which is LV, which is 32 EU per tick on the LV, so it can only work for LV machines. The amperage is how many machines you can have on a given cable. So, for example, over here, I have an 8A energy converter with, currently I think I have 7 machines on it. Or maybe it's 6, one of the two. I think I have 7 machines on it. So that means I can run 1 extra machine on this cable before I can't run any more. From what I can tell... Has this stopped? Oh, I need to quickly chuck some more stuff in there. From what I can tell, the amperage is basically how many machines you can have on a given cable running in parallel. So this one is an 8x tin cable. So I believe tin cable. The maximum EU per tick that can run is 32 EU per tick. So if I'm running, for example, it's got a 1 EU volt loss per block, I'm presuming. So I'm assuming that would be, this one's 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. I'm assuming. But for example, if I had a recipe that was running at like 64 EU per tick, it would not, the cable would not be able to keep up, and I would actually like, it would cause like energy loss. But for example, if I was running 4 machines at the same time, since it's only a 32 EU per tick cable, then they wouldn't be able to all be running simultaneously. So it just means I need to upgrade this cable at some point. And then, yeah, since it's an 8 amp cable, I can power 8 machines through it. That's my cursory understanding of it. I'm pretty sure that's right. What was the next step I went through? I went through that. I don't think I had sulfur. I don't think I did. I haven't done the charging batteries. I think I went straight into this chapter. Steel, which I used coal dust, and oh wait, before I did that, actually, I got up a basic dynamo system going. So got 3 of the steam dynamos, and I was just manually filling them up with coal, just to provide power while the machines were still over there. When I moved over here, I eventually worked my way up till about an hour ago, getting to the point where I had 3 of these steam boilers, and 6 of these steam turbines, which currently, before they were using the pressurized fluid conduits, but they weren't fast enough, so now I'm using the steel fluid pipes because they have a higher throughput, which is allowed me to keep these up and running 24/7. How are we looking on sugarcane? Plenty. Awesome. We'll get to that in a second, though. What did I do next? Oh my god. Next up was the wire mill. That was my next priority, is getting a wire mill and an alloy smelter. Yeah, wire mill and alloy smelter first, and then I ended up moving everything over here. Wire mill was just for cheaper wire recipes. Alloy smelter was for steel, red alloy, and I believe eventually copper nickel. I think I need alloy smelter. Yeah, copper and nickel. In fact, I might actually get that up and running now because I'm going to need some copper nickel. Copper and nickel. And we'll just get that running in alloy smelter. Chuck these up here for the time being. Oh, I need to make more steel as well, apparently. I don't have any form of top automation yet because I'm too lazy to make the hoppers. I know I really should. But basically, I'm manually putting the items in from the top, and they're auto-exporting out the bottom. I'm shifting up the program circuit as necessary. So, for example, if I need fine copper wire, I switched it over to 3. Though, actually, I stopped using that. In fact, I actually switched it over to using the this recipe. Because, so this one... Oh, is this one cheaper? I think they're the same price in the long run. No, I think this one's actually more expensive. Because one of these is 1, and that's a 1 to 4, and this is a 1 to 8. So I might actually have to switch to using the program circuit 3 for future copper production, which I should have figured out earlier. For some reason, I thought it was the other way around. That's a fucking idiot moment on my part. Wait, what's this? Infinite wood. Oh, the photogenic insulator. That was my next priority, just so I could process these rubber saplings into rubber wood and sticky resin. It's very slow. It is so very, very slow. I'm mostly just stealing this rubber wood to centrifuge it. However, before it was sort of just sitting in there doing nothing, and I'd pull out the sticky resin as necessary, but it wasn't keeping up with my rubber sheet requirements. We also got the aqueous accumulator. That allowed me to use the pressurized fluid conduits to pull water from here and initially into these ones, and then into the photogenic insulator. However, like I said, I've switched. Oh, I know, it's still being used to put water into these because I can run the cable facade, the cables, and both conduits on the same block sort of thing. Vacuum chest, that was pretty easy to make. Let's talk about SNAD. So SNAD, basically the process I got for SNAD was I needed this pulsating dust. To get that, you need uraninite dust. I was lazy and just bought uraninite ore. Where is it? Uraninite. Where's just normal uraninite? Uraninite ore. Yeah, I just purchased it. Oh. I just purchased it using money nickels, and then I smelted it down twice to get the pulsating dust, I believe it's called, and then that is used to make the pulsating ingots, iron dust and pulsating dust in an alloy smelter. And then what I did for the crystals that I need for the SNAD, so this one right here, the pulsating crystals, I basically had this extractor here. This would because the extractor and fluid extractor are both merged in this pack, so I had the extractor pull the pulsating, or turn the pulsating ingot into the liquid version, and it would automatically output the fluids out into the autoclave, and then I could just put a diamond in there and it would allow me to create the crystal, which I then used to make the SNAD block. I also believe I used the pulsating crystals for something else. What was it? I believe... I actually have no idea. Pulsating crystal, node overclocker, quantum flux. I don't even know what that's used for. SNAD, red SNAD, weather crystal. Oh, I used it for the vacuum chest, that's right. And I think that's it. Yeah, so far I've only used it for the vacuum chest. I'm instead using the pulsating ingots for the energetic alloy cable, I believe it's called. energetic alloy. No, it's not energetic alloy. It's energy. It's conductive. Wait, no. Oh, it's the item conduits, because you need the pulsating iron wire, which is only ULV, which I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm just using the ingots for those for the time being. I only use the item conduits to get items from here into these three and into this storage controller for my drawers. All of these iron furnaces at the top input, bottom output, fuel input from the back. And whenever I need XP, I literally just go through and just break all of them. And it's a pain in the ass having to set up the UI again every single time. Setting like the IO, because you have to set it to auto input, auto output. Going like this every time is a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's worth it for the levels, because it's allowed me to get some really good enchantments on my stuff so far. Let's quickly get that all back up and running. There we go. What else is there to cover? Bookshelves, they're pretty easy. Got both the trophies. I've got the backpack. Not the backpack. Well, I've got the backpack, but I've also got the leadstone jetpack. I've also got this wooden hook, but I barely use it because it's kind of slow. And it would be better if I could just fly anywhere, which I can just fly anywhere. So yeah, I've got that. I've got the Tinker's workbench. I don't have it hooked up to power anymore because I'm using it to power the charger instead, which is the most recent thing that I have made. This base is temporary. I have plans sort of floating around for a more permanent base structure. I want to do a bit more planning ahead before I start building things this time around, because my All the Mods 9 world is getting very laggy, and that's one of the reasons I haven't played on it in a couple of days. It's just because it gets really laggy. That, and I was getting a little bit overwhelmed, so I was taking a small break to sort of like play something that was a little bit less mentally strenuous, because it's a lot easier to play this than it is like IV level GregTech. Because that's where I'm up to. I haven't started on IV yet. I've just finished EV, and I'm like, I don't have the motivation to start on IV yet. I kind of do want to tonight, maybe. I might do some more tonight. That might be a plan. Might do these like 2 worlds simultaneously, depending on how I'm feeling on a given day. But like I said, this is sort of just a series where I just regurgitate whatever I'm playing and hope that people enjoy it. I think that should be everything covered. Compressor I'm using for plates. No, bender I'm using for plates. Compressor. No, I just got the compressor for the Certus quartz plates. However, I believe it's used for something else. Compressor. What else? Compressor. Oh, that's really an unhelpful thing to search up, because there's 284 pages of recipes. I believe I was using it for something. Not sure though. Batch crafting has saved me so much, especially now that I'm sort of got some machines up and running, some automation up and running. I need to collect some resources. I'm just going to bulk craft a bunch of red alloy, or a bunch of copper wires, or a bunch of tin wires, or a bunch of, like, literally just leaving this running constantly has been such a lifesaver in terms of getting rubber production at a semi-decent level. Like, this obviously running is helpful as well, but having 52 in here, a couple stacks in here, plus the plant balls that I can then smelt down into other shit, and having the carbon dust and the wood pulp on hand as well. Absolute lifesaver. Now, speaking of lifesavers, this is my new favorite JEI clone, and this is EMI, because for those of you uninitiated with how good EMI is, let's click on this recipe. This looks pretty normal, right? You see these little buttons here. So this is to set something as a default recipe. Pretty normal, right? So once this is, like, for example, we want to craft 16 basic electronic circuits. I click this button, and this looks a little bit complex, but basically how it was initially was it was just the core integral components. It was just these 5, and then I set a default recipe for these 5, and kept working my way down into the raw resources. So I'm like, okay, ignoring the tools, I need 10 of these, 6 of these, 22, 4, 5, 24, 3, 12, and 1. That's what I need for one basic electronic circuit. Just before, I did a batch craft of 24. So I'm like, okay, I need 48 fine copper wire. Okay, I'll go put that through the machine. I need 144 copper wire, regular copper wire, put that through the machine. Oh, I need, what was it, like, however many steel, 48 steel, get that started. I need fucking sugarcane, get that started. Get sticky resin, get that started. Red alloy, get that started. I know exactly how much I need. And then I click this little button here, and it basically saves it to the left-hand side of my hotbar, and it updates with if the items are in my inventory. And then if I want to craft something, I just go, what's a good example? Let's just say, I really don't have the, oh wait, no, I need to be in my system. So I'm like, okay, I want to craft red alloy plate. Bam, and that number goes down. And it is a lifesaver in terms of making it easier to batch craft. We're gonna actually take that offline now because we don't need that anymore. So yeah, having that is such a godsend, especially when I'm like, oh, I need to craft 6 steam turbines. I don't have to get out a notepad and like, oh, I need that, I need this much of that, I need that much of that. I can just get something else to do it for me, and it has a little checklist that I can like knock off each one as I go along, and it is so unbelievably useful. How are we looking on sugarcane, by the way? I just want to double check again. I want to make sure, yeah, I've got plenty in stock. Our power generation's a lot better than it was before, especially since these turbines were running like one at a time before because the pressurized conduits couldn't handle both. I do need to get multi-cycle injectors for all 6 of those. So let's use that as an example. So I need multi-cycle injectors. So I have 6 machines, and so I need to make this much for one. So I need 6 times 4 is 24. So we go 24. This is how many resources I need to craft 24 multi-cycle injectors. Oops. All right. So I need 72 gold, 72, what's it called? What's its face? Gold rods? Gold rods. 70, 64, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bam. I need 96 wrought iron plates. My hammer's dead. Hammer, wrought iron, hammer. Oh, I should have just used the bender for this. That would have been faster. But for the sake of demonstration, we'll just keep going like this. 10. We need 10 more. Oh, we don't have enough wrought iron. Okay. Iron ingot. Slap you in here. Slap you in here. Slap you in here. Grab all of... Oh, actually, I'm going to take all of that out and put that into here. And then grab some more wrought iron out. So I need 10. So I need 22 in total, or 20 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. And then go like that. And we'll actually dump that into our system. So we can just go batch craft that. And then the multi-cycle injector just needs 96 more wrought iron. That shouldn't take too long to craft. 30. But you get where I'm coming from, yeah? Where I can just make a bunch of them now. So I can just go, bam. Actually, let's just go like... What am I missing? Oh, I need to chuck those into there as well. 14. So while we wait for those, we can just set these up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And now I know I need 2 more for this second one. Now that I have a little more wrought iron. Multi-cycle injector. 10 more. It was this one, wasn't it? Wait, did I craft too many? I think I did. Yeah, I definitely crafted too many. That's fine. Or maybe not too many, but you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, now these are all running at maximum efficiency because they all have multi-cycle injectors. That was, sorry, a sort of a simpler recipe to take advantage of, but I didn't have to worry about going through and calculating all the individual amounts of everything. I could sort of just shift-click, craft the amount I need, and then have it done. So that's my experience with Monifactory so far. I don't think there's anything else in particular that I want to cover in depth. Oh, for the methane, I'm literally just exporting out the side. This one's set to push into the top and bottom, so it'll fill up these 2, and then it'll fill up itself. If I need to add more, I'll just set another 2 on top maybe, set them to push up the top, and just sort of have it fill up the buffer as it goes along. But so far we've got 32 buckets-ish? Yeah, around 32 buckets worth of methane gas, which is not really useful right at this exact moment, I don't think. I don't think it's useful till a little bit further down the track, I think. Methane gas is not really used until... oh, fucking, I don't even know, I guess it's useful for hydrogen gas. Oh, it can be used in the gas turbine. Basic gas turbine generator. What does this cost? It's LV. Gas turbine. Gas turbine. Methane gas. Is there a multi-block for it? Total generation 32 EU per tick. What does this require? 10 rotors. That's actually very cheap. If my methane production was a little bit more juiced up, I might slap that on here, but for the time being, power is fine. So the next plan of action is, one, getting better backpacks. That's step number one. Well, probably not step exactly number one, but I want to work through this sort of, not really, I don't want to work through this yet. I was going to bum rush AE2, but there's not really any point currently at this exact moment. I'm going to wait till NV, where I can get some automation up and running. Work my way through all of these, getting all the machines necessary, and then getting the EBF, the mixer, and our first MV machine hull, and our first MV circuits. So that's the current plan of action. I will keep you guys updated if I decide to make any more progress. I definitely probably will. Currently, I'm very much in the mood for this pack. I've been really enjoying it. So if you guys did enjoy, feel free to let me know in the comments. If there's anything you want to see me cover in a bit more detail, I definitely want to sort of do like a sort of dumb shits guide to early game GregTech to sort of get newer players sort of on board with the process, because I know that there's a lot of it for me was just like slamming my head against a brick wall trying to figure out what the fuck it was that I was doing wrong. So I definitely want to show that to people. But until that point, thank you all very much for watching and have a fantastic rest of your day.